want to continue with the analysis on traditional martial arts prior to entering in how to teach it. There are several aspects of traditional martial arts that are very important. Let's talk about the physical aspect first. Traditional martial arts, let's say that you're just studying. You studied probably a week ago. Now you're learning kicking, punching, twisting your body from the waist up, from the waist down. You're learning skills that are refined as to combining a defense and an attack at the same time. You are learning how to put your hands in a way that copies or remind of a animal, say hungar with dragon, tiger, praying mantis, pai, which is a white crane. Sorry for butchering it, but that's going to give you a different type of exercises, and it's going to move and stress in a good way different muscles than regular, for example, running or jogging, than playing, I don't know, basketball, in which you have to run and jump and twist, but it's not as much as traditional martial arts. The other thing is that you have to have a pattern of stances that are going to require you to go deep, to go a little bit up. It's going to require you to move your feet in a certain way, to locate your feet one behind the other, certain type of steppings, certain type of putting your knee joints or your hips, your back, etc. Then after that, you're supposed to be learning that martial arts has a rhythm, a cadence, and of course, it's got to be performed in a certain way. It's like music. Not you don't play music just at one speed. You stop. This thing is faster. The other thing is a little bit slower. Then you go fast again. Then you go medium speed, etc. That per se creates a different type of work in the nervous system, considering the nervous system, brain, spine, and peripherals, which is nerves per se. And it's been studied that in kids, the best way to improve learning, actual learning, and in the future, and to promote creativity, problem solving, etc. All of the activities that are combined with physical and mental are excellent for that purpose. For example, learning language, that's going to require you to read, memorize, etc. It's not a physical, but still is a lot of factors and a lot of variables that one person has to pay attention to. Listening, then the muscular part of the tongue and breathing, etc. That's one thing. And the other thing is, for example, playing an instrument. That part is physical. Usually you're going to have to do something with the instrument. Blow on it, strike chords, strike skins because it's a drum, etc., etc. And remember music, and remember sounds, and pay close attention. That is going to give a small kid, I take that back. It's going to give children in general a better perception in order to learn actually and in the future and it's going to improve creativity and all of the perception. I'm not making stuff up. That's you can search it out and Google it out. The other part of the physical aspect of martial art is that you go, like I said, you go with a weird type of stance. By weird I mean um, not that common kind of stance. Horse stance, the bow and arrow stance, etc. And you're going to have to pass from one to the other, regardless of being efficient in a confrontation or not. You're going to have to do that if you're learning. Then for the other part of the physical aspect is you will work with weapons. If it is in karate, you're going to have to work with a long staff, short staff, nunchakus, etc. If it is katas, you're going to have to learn different type of katas, one or two, or three, or more. I'm saying for the very, beginning, at the very beginning of the practice of this particular martial arts. So, and then you have your warm-ups, your intrinsical exercises that you do in every class, like push-ups, kicking, punching, like I said, two-man set, or defense, or like pre-choreographed forms, taolus, katas, pumpses, etc. Or bunkais, as it is known in karate. So that said, for the physical part, it's not inefficient. No, it's not. You have to keep a rhythm. And by having a rhythm or keeping a rhythm, you're going to have to breathe differently. So there's aerobics. There are, for example, in praying mantis, you're going to have a very good aerobic to complete one or two forms in one class because it's very fast, or it's supposed to be very fast. The same in karate. In order for you to apply the force that is required to a certain technique, you need to have certain type of breathing. That patterns, plural, patterns of breathing is not found like in wrestling, for example, or judo. There's no need. You're going to throw somebody and then you're going to go to the ground if needed. Or if it is jiu-jitsu, you're going to go to the ground, etc. And then you're going to be required of a oxygen consumption. But it's going to be just once or twice changing, depending on the situation. But in traditional martial arts, in order to complete the task and complete the form, it is required. You cannot escape it and do some other type of breathing, because otherwise you're not going to be able to complete that particular form. So that, to the top of my mind is what the physical comparison between traditional martial arts and regular sports is all about. There are more aspects, but that's the main aspects to consider. I've heard that those stances, forms, etc., they're not useful. They're not have any design. It's just made up stuff to look pretty. Let's say that that's the case, which is not, but let's say that that's the case. Well, it is good. I mean, you work different muscles, you go deep on the stances, you have to hold the stances for a certain period of time, you have to have certain physical condition. If you do just jogging, for example, you just jog. You just run. And usually most runners, they don't go to the sides. I mean, they don't zigzag or whatever, they just go and go. In marathons, for example, or half marathons or whatever. It's just for the sake of the example. Probably in their training, they're going to have to do it That's a totally different story. Training is, you know, every head is a world. So that's the physical portion that occurs to me right now. I will come back in another video and keep on my analysis on traditional martial arts and how to teach them. Have a nice day.